Sky High Sundae is a strange course. I'm generally drawn to the more colorful, vibrant, kooky levels in a game, and you get that here. Honestly, this feels like a unicorn threw up, which is bright, but also kind of ugly. So it's kind of strange for me to say I don't like it that much. Likely even sweeter than Sweet Sweet Canyon. We get to see cool treats all over the map, and ice pop shops lining the sidelines. I do think it's actually kind of funny that you're just smack dab in the middle of an ice cream parlor at the start of the race. Like, it seems unnecessarily attention grabbing. Of course, like usual, the shop is filled with titans, so you're mouse sized in comparison, which is dumb. The actual roadway jumps between different types of ice cream bars throughout a lot of the race, and it's textured nicely enough that it doesn't look completely flat. But again, I can't place why, but it almost looks like the layout is not finished. I don't even know why I feel that way, but it just seems off. I'm sure it's just a me thing, and honestly it doesn't really affect my ranking of the stage. I'm more put off by the fact that most of the stage is randomly floats, and no, not like the Sundaes. Mario's world is no stranger to unexplained floating platforms and blocks, but usually actual architecture and landmass tends to feel connected in some way. Even more so in the Mario Kart franchise. Whether it's because Rainbow Road is in space or propellers keep part of Sunshine Airport airborne, it could be that the ice cream cones are just stuck connected to the rest of the landmass. But I don't know, this still feels off to me. This is also really just another nitpick, as I still think it can be at least contextualized in some way. But what about the actual racing experience? This track does raise some questions. A map like Mute City being all anti-gravity made sense. It was designed to recreate the F-Zero experience and wrapped around in various ways. But why is Sky High Sundae all anti-gravity? Most of the track runs on a fairly flat surface. The Booster Pass as a whole took tracks from a game that didn't support anti-gravity, so it added in the mechanic where they could get away with it. A steep hill here and a winding path there. Often not needed, but likely helped justify making some of the tracks feel more appropriate for Mario Kart 8's core mechanic. But the only spot on the map where it makes sense is at the second and final turn on the map. More on that in a moment. And maybe the hill on the way there? A lot of the track, though, is a flat, ice-cold road. Heck, there's even a glider section at the start, so it's not like you needed to defy gravity to make the gap. Another question, why is the rail on the steps a booster? This should be an obstacle, something to collide with. It's likely better to have booster bars here, but like, why not tell the player that? Someone racing this track for the first time, and possibly even later on, would try to avoid these as to not mess up their speed. If you thought this was an obstacle in your first playthrough, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Last question, am I crazy or is this track strangely floaty? Like when you're landing on a lower level, you kind of just glide through the air. And not in that anti-gravity normal type of way. This course gives you a strangely large amount of airtime per jump. It's really off-putting when you spend the entire rest of the game with completely different physics. Oh, and let's circle back to those turns. There's two. Why is this such a simple course? I know I've called some of these recent courses simple, but like, this is literally just two straight lines. Like usual, it's a top speed racer's dream. The only real mix-up is a pointless fork in the road. It's like the only purpose the bright colors actually serve is to be two scoops of distraction while you're stuck on a plain as vanilla track. Because really, that's all this is. I do appreciate the flashy attempts enough that I don't hate the course, but it's still going to stay in D tier because it's fairly nonsensical and basic at the same time. But don't take off your winter clothes yet, as tomorrow, things are going to continue to feel icy. See y'all then?